In my previous video, I spoke about why I chose HSCT. Check it out if you would like to know why I did this treatment over other medications. In this video, I want to get into the HSCT treatment I received when I went to Puebla, Mexico in August of 2018. I want to give an overall picture of the treatment. HSCT is not intended to reverse multiple sclerosis, but to halt the progression and reversal of symptoms is a bonus. Prior to discussing the treatment, I want to quickly share with you some of the symptoms I had before going into HSCT because I get asked that a lot. I had constant numbness to my right arm and whole hand. I had numbness to my left pinky and ring finger. I had creepy crawly feelings all around and pain and sensitivity to the left side of my face and forehead. I had the hermit sign, which is basically when you put your head down, you would get shooting pains down your back and into your legs. I had heaviness to my right leg at times. I had fatigue and was classified as an EDSS of 3 at the time. On August 19th, 2018, I made my way from Canada to Minneapolis, Atlanta to Mexico City, and there the staff from Puebla picked us up at the airport around 10 p.m. at night and drove us into Puebla, where we stayed in apartments called the Core. These apartments are beautiful, 2-bedroom, spacious, clean apartments. There's also a rooftop patio. They fed you meals there, and it was amazing. In treatment, you could get a caregiver to take care of you, or you could bring your own caregiver. I was blessed at the time to have my significant other make the journey with me. This is an outline of the treatment I received on the first day in August 2018. The beginning days are marked as negative, and there is a countdown until the day I received my stem cells and recovered my immune system with no memory of MS. The day I received my stem cells is day 0, also known as my STEMI birthday. After receiving my stem cells, I remained at the clinic until my immune system stabilized around day plus 11. All right, let's begin. On the first day, minus 13, preliminary testing began. Blood work, x-rays, MRIs, consultations with specialists, and so on. They really ensured that my health was up to par to be able to do this treatment. Once everything was done, I was cleared and I was good to start the treatment process. Day minus 11 was the start of chemo. We were given cyclophosphamide, 200 milligrams per kilogram. These sessions took about 5 hours. Day minus 10 was the same dose of chemo and time. People often ask how I did with chemo. I honestly did not do well. The first 2 rounds, I was puking while the chemo was infusing during treatment. It was such a long infusion process, but the nurses were amazing and gave me lots of drugs for nausea. Day minus 9 was the start of the subcutaneous filgrastim 300 unit shots twice a day. These shots are to mobilize stem cells from the bone marrow into the bloodstream. These were administered by the clinic nurses and medical staff in the privacy of the apartment building for the convenience of the patients. These shots twice a day continued from day minus 9 to day minus 4. At first, I didn't have a lot of pain with these shots, but near the end, my bones were quite achy and sore, and I felt like I couldn't move. It was a little painful. Day minus 3, this is when I got my port inserted into my chest to harvest stem cells. This stem cell harvesting was going to take place early the next day. The port would also be used to give back my stem cells. The hospital was amazing. It was clean. I had my own room, bed, bathroom, TV, and the care there was amazing. The port insertion didn't hurt, and it was put in better than the one I had in Canada for my plasma exchange. Day minus 2, first thing in the morning, there was a 3-hour process to collect my stem cells. This was done through the harvesting machine shown here. I needed 64 million stem cells to be able to drop me into neutropenia safely. I made 310 million stem cells that they harvested. Once the stem cells were harvested, there were 2 additional days of high-dose chemotherapy, same as the first 2 I did, administered to reproduce white blood cells and suppress the majority of the existing immune system responsible for autoimmunity. So once my stem cells were harvested, I was back into the chemo room for another 5-hour session going into that evening. Day minus 1 was the last round of chemo. I was excited. Day 0, I received my stem cells September 3rd, 2018. This was an amazing day because I knew then that my immune system had been rebooted without the memory of MS. It was about this time I started to feel a lot of burning in my right arm and hand. That was the area that had a lot of numbness to begin with, and it started to feel almost worse. I was a bit concerned, but I was really hoping my body was just adjusting and doing whatever it needed to do. Day +1, I was really feeling the effects of the treatment. I was tired and achy. This was apparently normal until your blood work improves. I had to have blood work twice a day and meet with Dr. Ruse to ensure all was going well. This was also the time I started to see a lot of hair loss from the chemo kick in. Clumps of hair on my pillow and when I would wash it. This was the time I knew I had to shave my head, and it was really hard for me. Looking back now, I really wish I did not stress about this as much as I did. Temporary hair loss is nothing compared to a lifetime of health. Day +6, I was officially in neutropenia. Neutrophils, which are a type of white blood cell responsible for fighting infections, are low when in neutropenia. And I had minimal immune function. Exposure and diet are highly controlled, and I had to be careful following a neutropenic diet and taking extra precautions around people. I received blood work every day to ensure everything was going good, and they took extremely good care of me. Thankfully, in this time, I had no complications in my lab work, and it trended as it was supposed to. On day +9, I was able to receive the last infusion of rituximab. Rituximab is given to basically ensure the immune system is wiped along with B cells post-chemo. There I had a slight complication in reaction to the infusion. It felt as if my throat was itchy and scratchy, but the staff were amazing and knew what to do right away. Honestly, the care is unbelievable in Mexico. Day +13, I had made it back to Canada. It was a long journey home, starting from the drive from Puebla to Mexico City, to Atlanta, then to Canada. While I was in Atlanta waiting for my flight, a lady I had never met before gave me a card and a gift. The card read, "She is clothed with strength and dignity and laughs without fear of the future." Proverbs 31:25. It also read, "God has a plan for you and it is wonderful." This gift meant everything to me. I looked terrible. I was so pale, I had lost my hair, I was wearing a mask because I was still immunocompromised, and this lady gave me this out of nowhere. I believe this is true. God does have a plan for me. I hope to get more patients to HSCT earlier in their diagnosis, to change their lives for the better. There is no money in the cure. Today, I have an EDSS of 0. I am able to work full-time and have so much enjoyment in life. Early HSCT is key. I hope this inspires others to take the leap. After HSCT, I believe we need to make changes. Before treatment, my body was malfunctioning, so what I was doing was not working for my body. I needed to make changes to ensure my immune system stays on track. I will be sharing more videos on that in the future. If you decide to do HSCT and go to Clínica Ruse Mexico, you will not be disappointed. The treatment is unbelievable, and I highly recommend them and cannot thank them enough for giving me my life back. Thank you guys so much for watching.